You're not roboting, and I've just run a whole lot of effects. I think you're lying.
So far, so good, so well, right? Yeah, I've been.
Sorry, are you speaking?
I clicked
can't
on
hear
it, and it said I was 8 seconds live.
you. You bit of an
It said I
8-second
was
delay,
8
hey?
seconds live.
Yeah, 8
As soon
second
as I
delay.
clicked on it, it said 8 seconds. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming through.
Not much. I mean, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, hang out on a random night. See what's happening.
This is kind of like one of my last. This is going to be like one of my last attempts at live streaming before I try to, I don't know, move or get a laptop or an actual good setup. So this is kind of like I can't even be on people's live streams anymore. If there's more than like if I'm like on a live stream of 4
It
or
sounds
5
like you got a
people,
pretty dodgy connection.
that's it.
I've been on a stream with you when you've had a dodgy connection, and it doesn't work. It's worse than Milton Knowles' connection.
Darth Haster. Yeah, I was on streams with Darth Haster. We were saying who has the worst fucking connection.
Yeah, roll the dice. Who's got the worst connection? Hail Parrothead, how you going?
Yeah,
and also Anonymous Panda.
Hello,
How are you going, Anonymous Panda? Anonymous Panda, Anonymous Badger, Noah Girl, and the dude with no name.
The dude with no name?
It's on the Cosme Room, because I'm simulcasting you out to the Cosme Room.
Oh.
That's Cosme with a K.
Cool. Not Cosby.
No. Not Cosby.
It's not Bill Cosby.
Cosme.
He won't.
No.
He won't.
As in cosmic.
He won't
Cosme.
give you roofies.
No.
What's up, Sentinel? How you doing? How you doing, Sentinel?
Hail the Sentinel in the house.
Sentinel, who should run more streams? Because he's got that robot voice.
Yeah, I think he had a problem with his computer and wasn't able to get on streams anymore.
Oh, do I know that problem? Okay, Sentinel, I totally sympathize with you because... Oh, shit. Whoa. Speak of the devil.
Well, I
used Sentinel.
Christian. Now I don't. Glad to be here, guys. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Sentinel?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Speak of the devil. Holy shit. I'm good.
Glad.
I'm good. This I have to attempt streams at certain times, or even to go on people's streams at certain times in order to get a decent connection. So I'm just trying this right now.
It's working.
I haven't talked to your robot ass in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been several months.
So what's been going on with you?
Well, I've been trying to get out of the Bay Area for a while, and it looks like I'll be finally moving out of here pretty damn soon. The only problem I have is it's difficult getting, moving companies and moving trucks right now because everybody's leaving the Bay Area right now. So,
yeah, time to get out, eh?
Yeah. People are just sick. They're sick of the lockdowns. They're sick of being overtaxed. And if you live in the Bay Area, first and foremost, it's it's so weird because it looks really pretty. It's a really pretty place to live, but internally, you feel almost like, I hate using this term, but it's sort of like being a paid slave, because I don't have this problem anymore, but it used. I know several people who work in the tech industry, and they just drove them into the ground. 6 days a week, 18-hour days, and that was before they had to do extra time when like certain gaming companies were pushing to get a game released, like Electronic Arts. I had a friend I played in a band with. He was working nonstop, like 6 days a week, 20 hours on call, had to leave in the middle of a band practice we had. It was just, I'm just glad, I'm glad I'm not anywhere near that industry anymore. And I just want to sort of get out of the area, because it's a, it just sucks. Everything costs so much.
What were you doing in that industry?
No, I just knew people who worked in that industry. I was trying to get in it and trying to break into it for a long time, and I don't, because I don't have a background in that. I have more of a liberal arts background, and but I was always trying to, get into that industry because I knew, they had great jobs, great benefits. But with the, turn of the 2010s and the rise of, SJW and PC culture in, being assimilated by major companies in the Bay Area, it just, the culture of the entire area changed. It just, people were a lot.
So yes, yeah.
You're
You're just another victim of wokeness.
Yeah, so looking back on it, I'm glad I didn't get into it, because I knew I would eventually have found some reason to be canceled by some fucking weirdo who worked in the same vicinity as me.
Yeah.
So no
They
big
would have found
loss.
something you say, something you'd said in your past, something you've done.
That's right.
A weird look you gave. You
look.
didn't wear the right armband.
Yeah, and I'm a straight white male as it is, so they're already out to get me. So,
You laughed at a certain Looney Tunes episode. You laughed at a certain Looney Tunes episode. No.
Right.
So just a second, I just want to let Anonymous Panda know that Sentinel is using a voice modulator, and that's why his voice sounds like that. And it actually is pretty cool, if you ask me.
No, don't spoil the dream. He's really a robot.
Yeah,
he's really a robot.
Really a robot.
That's right. Really...
I'm a I'm a mechanical attack bird. Basically.
Mechanical attack bird. Awesome.
Yeah, my avatar. Yeah, that's who I am. Yeah, I'm flying around right now, killing people.
Yeah.
He's
screaming
for vengeance right now.
Right. I can't see anybody. The panda, is he in the chat on YouTube?
He's in another chat.
Oh, he's in another chat. Okay.
Yeah, he said he's in the Cosme room. Yeah.
Or,
you were the last one to comment in the chat.
Okay.
But Parrothead, thanks for coming through too. Parrothead never talks. I've never heard Parrothead's voice. I've heard Sentinel's robot voice numerous times. If Parrothead comes on, is it just going to be a bunch of fucking parrot noises? Like you walk into a pet shop.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like rattling around in the cage. So what? All right. So what's the hot topics of the week of pissing everybody off?
The stuff that I hate talking about, like there's the new STD, next season of STD trailer is out, and the next season of what was the other one? Picard is out.
I'm not a Star Wars fan. I mean, a Star Trek fan. I've actually never been a Star Trek fan. I was a Star Wars fan
Yeah, I used
like
to like
a
both. I
long
used to
time ago.
like Star Wars
I was
as
sick.
like it's like it was like a more of a magical sort of science fiction and a lot of fun and very different to Star Trek, which was more like dialogue driven and that sort of thing.
I'm just sick of all the talk about both of them and the fucking MCU. Good God. Oh God. The Sentinel thought that my friend Mike and I were getting into a Snyder Cut conversation. He was like, "All right, goodbye."
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
I
hope I
don't
wasn't.
care
I
about the
hope I
Snyder
It
Cut.
wasn't
rude.
my fault. It was Jay. That was Sentinel. That was JJ's fault though, because JJ came into the chat, and then my friend Mike started asking him about it immediately.
I hope I didn't. Well, I hope I didn't come off as too rude. You know, I just. I had to mute Twitter several times. Release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag release the
It
Snyder
gets
Cut.
annoying.
It gets annoying.
It gets annoying.
So yeah, I'm just not really a fan.
Well, it was also
I'm
really annoying hearing that now after that, then they would like release their Suicide Squad cut. It's like you assholes have another Suicide Squad movie coming out immediately. So
right. Which I think is going to be superior to the previous one because
Well, that's not
James.
hard.
Yeah,
It's not hard to be superior to the previous one.
yeah, it's not.
it's just
Like they
not.
could quite
It
literally just show
really
you like 40 minutes of paint drying.
Or they could just flip through the first 40 pages of, or at least maybe 3 or 4 issues of the first series in the 80s.
yeah.
It's just like have
What they
a
should do.
narrator going through it. It'll be better.
I was thinking that if you like what they're doing with things at the moment with saturating the market sucks. But if they did a movie which was like you're in a lounge and you're with a nice big high backed leather chair and you have James L. Jones just reading the comics to us and we can see the pages as he's reading them as well, I'll go and see that.
You know what? That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. Like he like licks his thumb as he's the comic book page. All sophisticated, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like he's got like the was it the Playboy was it Hefner sort of get up going and everything,
the
so he's all like
ascot.
poshed up
Yeah,
and shit. Yeah,
he's got
the
the
ascot, he's
ascot.
got the
He's got an ascot.
like maybe like a pipe
The
that
smoking
at the beginning
jacket.
he takes the pipe out and puts it down onto onto the table with a little wisp of smoke coming out of it. Was it like a half a glass of like a bourbon on ice or something? And it's like, oh, hello, I didn't see you. And
Yeah.
that's not quite right. I don't know. I can't do a James L. Jones, but you can imagine. Oh, I didn't see you there.
He's got like the smoking jacket going on.
Yep, smoking
I
jacket.
can see it.
Yeah,
You know what?
and like every now and again,
James Earl
it
Jones
like
has been in a lot.
he's been in a
He's
lot of
been in
Star
a
Wars
lot
and stuff.
worse. He was in Soul Man.
Yes, I'm sure when an actor gets to that age, I'm sure there's many things he wishes he could forget that he was in.
Yeah.
He was in Soul Man, and he didn't have to be in Soul Man, but he was.
Hey Jens.
What's up, Jens? How you doing? What's good? We're just talking some bullshit here.
Yeah.
The Soul Man. How did that guy? He like, all right. He was a respectable actor.
Yeah,
Why did he
was,
agree to be in
yeah.
that movie?
I don't
money?
know. I don't even really remember it myself.
When did that come out?
How much money did they? Oh, it was that shit was mid '80s. Oh shit. Ooh, it was
Oh,
like.
now I know
Alright,
what you're
cause see
talking
Tom.
about. The guy who
Yeah.
painted himself to
See
be
Thomas
black.
Howell.
Yeah, yeah. Now I know what you're
No,
talking
he didn't paint himself. He didn't paint. No, you know what? You know what the story
I like
was
that.
in the
And I
movie.
like that. The idea
He
Soul
didn't
Man
paint
is a
it.
film that shows a white man still can't jump in blackface.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
The funny thing was he didn't even look black. He didn't even look like a black person. He looked like he could have passed for like I don't know, Indian or Middle Eastern. No,
about. Yeah,
again,
exactly.
Soul Man was earlier than that.
If you're gonna,
Soul Man was
if
earlier than '89.
maybe 87.
All right, C. Thomas Howell had an actually good start to his career.
Yeah,
You look at this dude. You look at this dude's IMDb, and just like
pretty.
Corey Feldman, it starts off great, and then it starts to nose. It really starts to nosedive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
C. Thomas Howell's first movie was E.T., I believe.
he was in that. Oh yeah, he was the older brother. God, he was young
I
back
think
then.
no, he was one of his friend. He was one of the older brother's friends in E.T.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
He wasn't the C. Thomas
Yeah.
Howell wasn't the older brother.
Oh, okay.
Chris, I know you. Thomas Howell is. He was in the. Remember we watched The Hitcher.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Remember the French. Remember the finger and the French fries.
Yeah. That was just random. There's so many things in that movie. Just like, well, why did that happen? And like, where does that connect up? Like the finger and the French fries. It's like, well, hang on a second. Why did nobody see what? It's that movie was a bit
Oh,
messed up.
Jens, if you want to come through and talk about Soul Man, of course. Because holy shit, was Soul Man like? Imagine they try to remake Soul Man these days. No fucking way! Holy fucking shit!
Heads would explode. It would be beautiful.
Careers would end. Heads would explode.
You know, do you think they
Oh my
could do
God.
that, but cast a black person and put him in whiteface? Because they don't
They
give a shit
already
about
did it. It
offending
was
white
called
people.
White Chick.
Yeah.
That
They
was
already did
that
it.
was
It was called White Chicks.
that's
That and the movie Cats, because there are a bunch of them are black actors playing white cats.
oh yeah.
So they're,
I'm not.
they're,
I
they're,
was never
they're-
Coming to
offended.
America. Oh,
you should have
Yud.
been
Here's
I
Yud.
know,
coming
but
to
I
America. Oh God, this the coming to America or coming to America. Because there's two movies by the same name. There's the
I know.
movie
What a lazy.
Coming to America, and there's Coming to America.
I know. That's so lazy.
It is.
Oh yeah,
Blatantly
Eddie
lazy.
Murphy. Eddie Murphy played a bunch of white people in the first Coming to America.
Yeah. But he also played a bunch of black
Oh no!
people.
Wait! Was it one white person? No, it's one white person that he played. Okay, but Eddie
Who does he
Murphy
play as a
also
white
did play
person?
a white. He also did play a white person on Saturday Night Live. He did that skit. He dressed up as a white person on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
What's
was
up, Jens?
thinking. Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, just say it. So, listening to you guys and that, like, talking about like Soul Man and that. I was just going to say it on Soul Man. It was like Tootsie, but instead of like being a woman to get into a place, he had to
The
become
Black Tootsie.
like black guy. Yeah, like the
Yes,
Tootsie.
Black Tootsie. Black Tootsie.
Is that like Bootsy?
Okay.
Black
all right,
Tootsie is
wait,
Bootsy?
Wait.
Yeah, have you seen
There
Tootsie
was
with
also
something
this
off?
television show. There was this television show in the 80s called Bosom Buddies. If anyone has ever heard of this.
With Tom Hanks.
It was Tom Hanks' start. This is exactly. It was Tom
I
Hanks
vaguely
and
remember
this
the
other
name.
dude. It was Tom Hanks and this other dude who had to dress up as women so they could live in this all women's place because they were kicked out of their apartments. That's where Tom Hanks got his start.
Yeah. Well, there's that film with the Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Jack.
It seemed that Men in Drag was like a go-to thing for humor, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
It
all started. It all started, didn't it, in like probably the Roman times and all that, where like dudes would probably get together in that and then like do some acting and then we need a woman. I'll pretend to be a woman.
It's like when it's also when you hear that people used to play Shakespeare. When people used to do Shakespeare shit on stage, that all the women were played by men.
Yeah, could be. It's like I know in wartime, wasn't it? Like
Sandy Duncan used to play Peter Pan.
Yeah, like women.
They've been trying to do the gender bending thing for a long fucking time. So.
Oh well, that's acting, though, isn't it? That's the theatre, all about it being someone else. But British people like can't really say much because the British theatre and that is full of drag like artists and that because like a lot of like dudes and that always play like the ugly sisters in Cinderella. There's always like two dudes who all tend to be like women, but obviously the real, usually real fat and like old and you know, they're like looking pretty ugly. To some people.
Did anybody here used to watch this sketch comedy show called Kids in the Hall?
Oh yeah. I crush you.
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, every single time it was one of the male cast playing a woman. They were always in drag. It's like that always seemed to like be a go-to thing for laughs.
Yeah, but Monty Python, they did it and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been a thing for a while.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of like comedians that did it. Because talking about Eddie Murphy, that film, what was it, where he played like in Orbit, where he plays like himself, but as like a really geeky nerd.
He also in the Nutty Professor.
Yeah, he plays himself, and he plays. There's one where he plays himself as a loser, and himself as the actor. And I think the loser version has to replace him or something like that.
Oh wait,
No.
What was that one? No. What's that?
It's Bowfinger.
Oh, Chris,
Bowfinger.
what's that one? Bowfinger.
I don't think it was Bowfinger.
Bowfinger, okay.
Was it? Yeah,
no bit. Where he's
the one with Steve Martin, right? The one Well, Chris, the one you're talking about, Steve Martin, right? Steve Martin's the
I
director.
think Steve Martin's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if he's the director or not.
And
Been a long time.
Zod. What's his name? Who plays Zod in
Terrence
the
Stamp.
Christopher Reeve? Yeah, he's in it and all. It's like a security guard. But anyway, no, I was talking about Norbit, where he plays himself, and then a big fat like woman that's real annoying in that. And there's a bit where like it was not great comedy. It was like alright-ish. But yeah, he like proper like went full woman, and then in Nutty Professor he played the grandma, didn't he? And the man. Yeah, Eddie Murphy. He's gone.
I can't remember the last Eddie. I can't remember the last Eddie Murphy movie I've seen. I can't even remember.
Oh, it'd have been probably a Tower Heist, wouldn't it?
I don't. It might have been the Nutty Professor, the first one.
Have you seen the second one? Yeah, I can't remember much of the second one. Because I might have seen the second one, but I'm sure I have. Was there a second? I thought there was, like.
Okay, am I roboting? Am I roboting?
A little bit.
Why did I make my roboting? Awesome. This is why this was my last gasp, everybody. This is one of my this is one of my dying breaths. Oh, what's this? What'd you put up here, Chris?
That's the movie that Jens was talking
again?
about. That was the Norbit movie poster.
Yeah,
He's playing like a nerdy version, like a nerdy self, and then there's like his, the big fat chick that's after the little nerdy guy.
Yeah, she's a like handful of that guy bossing him around, and he plays where he's like, oh yeah, lovely, okay, that. Then obviously like she don't try to be that mean, but like she just comes across like as a like big sometimes in that. I think in that, but like she proper like as in under,
That was like off the heels of the Nutty Professor movies. And it's like we're just gonna get Eddie Murphy to play every fucking character in this movie, right?
Yeah. Eddie plays every role.
Yeah, I want half Eddie. Gross fucking class, though, man. That's like all them roles. I mean, even if shit Eddie Murphy's fucking class, you're gonna get a laugh. Because like,
There was a good one.
That Brutal Nash is probably one of, there's thingy and all, Harlem Nights.
My favorite Eddie
and that Boomerang and that. You know, but there's still laughs in it, you know what I mean? Even though this shit, you know, compared to like, when you got like Trading Places and like Golden Cow.
Trading Places is my favorite Eddie Murphy movie. I love Trading Places.
Dan Aykroyd, Dan Aykroyd, he's quite class as he has done a few shit films, but like he's done some class ones. You know, he's done like Blues Brothers, Ghostbusters.
This is more Norbit. Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought Chris was gonna show more Norbit stuff.
No, this is sad. This is sad and dark times we're living in. That's what I'm showing.
Oh, what's this one?
It's they're making a 4. They don't have a release date,
Oh god.
but they're making a fucking 4.
Oh, yeah.
God, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be such woke crap.
Yeah.
You want to be careful playing that stuff. You could get, yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, don't get me
Yeah,
caught
it's
for
been
copyright.
quite No, yeah, you can't get copyright 'cause it's my music. If I do a cover version of it,
So wait.
it's mine.
So
Yeah, but they can still
So,
ping you on it. We've had public domain stuff we've been pinged on this
they're
channel.
also gonna.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
also supposed to do
How could you
Beetlejuice
say
2,
that about my
right?
new song?
Like way. Like
What was this?
Beetlejuice 2. Isn't it Beetlejuice 2?
Beetlejuice 2. And it doesn't need to. I am completely and utterly sick and tired of all the different like reboots, sequels, the books to movies, comic books to movies, reimaginings, recreations, all of it. I just want to see something that isn't already a franchise made into something. No, I was just recently
It
watching
would be nice.
one of the Star Trek movies, and it would have been a great movie if it had nothing to do with Star Trek. If they had taken out everything to do with Star Trek, it would have been a decent movie. What brought it down was the constant references to Star Trek.
Sentinel, what do you think about all these reboots? Shit. Sentinel, if you're still there, you could unmute yourself. Is he still there? I guess he's not there anymore.
So I'll figure, tell you what I think about these reboots.
Yeah. Jens,
Gonna be crap if the
what's your
yeah, well they're gonna be crap, aren't they? If you're getting these Hollywood type who never been in a fight and they're doing like He-Man, because that's why He-Man's because no one's ever punched someone so hard that they're flying, so they can't imagine making that sort of film, and so you're gonna have that. But obviously, you get some good writers in that, then yeah, remakes could be real good. Like yeah, I tell you,
I mean,
what film?
A remake can be good,
Yes,
but
Hollywood has always been
Oh wait, yeah,
always
I had a film that
remake.
yeah, I had a film that I was thinking
We
of.
know that Hollywood has always had remakes, reboots, and
they've always had them.
characters they
But
always
now
try
they
to stretch
only have
out.
them.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Now that's the only thing. Yes, it used to just be like a back pocket thing. Now it's a mainstream thing. Now it's only it.
Yeah, it's the only thing they have on, and it's like,
Now it's
come on,
only
it's just one thing new.
yes. Yeah. Now it's the only card they have to put on the fucking table. That's it. And it.
Slasher?
Yeah, he's cut out. He's cut out. He'll come back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be because like there's 4 of us. Cause I think the more people.
Oh, hang on. We're getting some noise, Slasher. We're getting a bit of noise. There's a bit of rumbling. And he's gone again. Man, like, I wish I could just go over there and get him like a high-speed internet connection, and like not a top-of-the-range laptop, but a good enough laptop.
Yeah. It could be his CPU. If there's like 4 or 5 sort of connections of So
Well, there's going to be a combination of bandwidth and like the CPU usage and stuff like that. That can be a problem.
Yeah.
And I think like some of the times it works and some of the times it doesn't. It could be like overheating and things like that. There's lots of different issues it could be. I recently found out the camera issue was probably that it was overheating.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Chris, I see you're like on camera.
Yeah, I got my camera set up. I've been messing around with all sorts of things. I've got my the broadcast set up, so I can do things like
Okay.
like when I'm just being cheeky.
Yeah.
Or like
Okay.
things is there's all these guys here. It's like
How's the sound now?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Yeah, it
How's
sounds
the
good.
sound now? Okay.
Well, yeah, good. Yeah. You're sounding good. You're sounding good, Sasha.
Yep, sounding good.
All right. Spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, because
What?
Yeah.
Oops.
Power Ed, he said like, yeah, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall played white guys in Coming to America. I know Eddie Murphy played the Jewish white guy in the Hairdressers.
Coming to America. Coming to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Eddie Murphy. But yeah, I don't know what his mate did though. So I know they both played, or his mate played a few characters. Like he played a woman, and
He played the woman that was interested in him.
Yeah, that was like a blind date
characters.
Yeah, and
They both played a couple of
characters. And he also played the priest, like Lordy, look at this. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Praise the Lord.
What's it's also this is the singer from the band Sexual Chocolate.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, there's Eddie Murphy playing the lead singer from the band Sexual Chocolate that was playing at the time.
Yeah, because it's like me being into sort of like the music and that. Like I've been and seen a few bands and that, and like he probably did the sort of like where the crowd just think like responding to him as much as he wants because he sort of wants to be the next Prince and that he's expecting everyone to be like getting up like if he's playing Purple Rain, and so he just starts stomping his foot like I think it's like fucked up.
Eddie Murphy's a good character actor.
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking. Oh yeah. He plays himself sort of like sometimes in more films, but there's other films where he can proper play where you don't because in coming to America, I didn't know Eddie Murphy played the white Jewish dude in the barbershop. Yeah. Because like the synthetics that they use is pretty good and like and so like when you first see it and that, when you know it's Eddie Murphy and that and sort of saying, use some synthetics and that, then you can tell a bit, when you're looking. But when you first like don't know him that man, you're thinking, oh yeah, it's just some
old Jewish guy.
Yeah. Well, Eddie Murphy. I say yeah.
All right, so it's not like Soul Man where you could tell Thomas Howell black.
Oh yeah. That's proper where he just curls his hair, doesn't he? He just curls his hair a bit and bangs on like brown face. Yeah.
Brown face.
Have you guys?
Yeah.
Brown face.
It's like really like if you know you're like, oh, how you doing there? But to be fair, if you didn't know him, you would think, oh yeah, this is a black dude. But yeah, he has got quite whitish features in
First
that.
of all, he doesn't look like a black person in that movie. He doesn't. He looks like someone playing a black person. So if I was the Harvard people that was gonna let him in, I'd be like, you're kind of suspect. I don't believe you. Like,
but
he looked weird. Weird.
Yeah, but he ain't like proper black. He is playing a sort of like where he's got some black in him. Where he.
I was thinking. It's funny how this whole thing comes back. It's funny how this whole thing comes back to Soul Man too.
Good film. I liked it. I'll visit it because it was all just bragging about sort of fucking like a white dude being sort of like expected to be there with that, like black things and that, and it was just really like that comedy where the basketball one in it where said like where everyone thinks, oh yeah, well he's black, so he'll be able to choke some out.
All right. So wait a second. I'll throw something out. Something out here to everyone. I'll throw something out here to everyone on the panel. So since we're in cancellation days, all right, everyone can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So since we're in cancellation days, should Scarface be canceled because there's a bunch of Italian people playing Cuban people?
Nah.
I mean,
I
since we're in these
How white
current
are Cubans?
cancellation days.
It depends on how white Cubans are.
I don't know. They had a bunch of Italian people playing them, so maybe they put
Are
them in
they
tanning beds.
like Italian people aren't
go
really
play
considered as
Cuban.
white? Like Italian people aren't really considered as white, and Cuban people aren't really considered as white. So that stuff's generally okay. It's only if it's a white person playing an Italian or Cuban.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought Italian people were considered white these days.
That's what I thought.
Days, I know they used to not be, but I thought they were
Right.
these days.
Unless you're white, you're not. You that everybody is like you've got white, which is total privilege, and then you have like the different shades underneath. And as it goes darker, your privilege gets less and less and less, and your victimhood status goes up.
So it's like walking into like a place where you gotta swipe through the pages of paint swabs to decide what color you want your house painted, but it's oppression levels instead of paint. Paint, it's a.
However, the people who use these scales are apparently not the racist ones. Apparently, they're not the racist ones. Apparently, the people who ignore the colors of people's skins are the racists. Hey, Nancy.
No, they're not the racist ones.
Yeah, that's what
What's up, Nancy? How you doing? Hello, Nancy. How you doing? So anytime
games,
someone
movies, and comics are us.
All right.
Sorry.
Hello, games, movies, comics, and goddamn stop changing your name.
It's been this for a little while. Is it ready for a change?
Yeah, for like 2 weeks. For like 2 weeks. You keep changing.
Yeah. Like I say, It's been that for 2 weeks. It's about time for a change.
So, I tell you what, it's time for me to get charging this. It'll run out and I'll be getting cut off now. Yeah.
All right. So wait. All right. Who should be next on the cancellation circle then? Well, if you think about it long enough, I'd say the Chiquita Banana Woman. The Chiquita Banana Woman. She hasn't been canceled yet, has she?
No, well, she's Puerto Rican.
Who would I cancel if I could cancel anyone?
I mean, if you were the hardcore lefty type, like who would be under the cancellation like microscope?
Pineapple on pizza. We need to cancel pineapple on pizza.
There you go. You know what? You got a point there. You actually have a point there.
Oh no, I shouldn't make that joke. Saying that we need to cancel the Cocoa Pops monkey.
Yeah.
Actually, you could do it with anything.
That was the thing I actually said at one stage. At one stage, they said they wanted to cancel the Cocoa Pops monkey because it was racist.
Yeah, it's called Coco.
You can cancel anything monkey involved.
Yeah. The Kong movie needs to be cancelled.
The monkey can be cancelled.
Yep. Yep. The latest Kong movie needs to be cancelled. Because Kong didn't win, so Godzilla represents like the Asian community and that community in that general geographic location. So and then having the Godzilla win over Kong is basically like, because the Asian people are now the new white people, that's basically like having the white people beat because Kong's. But we're not the racist ones for saying that. The people who disagree with us are.
Well, curious
comedy, parody, satire. Just want to make sure everybody understands comedy, satire, parody.
Yeah, Kong was enslaved at one point. Kong got enslaved, so he had the backing of the people, what do you call it? Reparations fucking argument. Where Godzilla's just invade. He's an imperialist, and he just goes invading into other people's backyards. And
I really think that movie needed less people in it.
Well, when I saw people were trying to throw race into Alien and Predator movies, that was where I was over my limit with that shit.
Yeah, that's just
like people were trying to fucking it. I was seeing like people were trying to throw Predator into like some sort of racist, and I was like, if you see a Predator and think a black person, that's your problem, and that makes you a fucking racist. Like, one single.
That makes you a fucked up individual.
Did I watch a Predator? Not one single time that I watch a Predator movie, I was like, "Oh, the Predators are black people." No, fuck you. It's like
their skin being a sort of whitish color, and definitely that kind of made me not think of that.
Yeah, they're pretty white,
the fact that they're a fucking alien didn't make me think that.
Chris, they're pretty white for black people, aren't they? Right?
Yeah. I mean, because they essentially look at the tops of their heads and go, that kind of looks like dreadlocks. Black people. Hang on a second. Hang on.
It's just the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I mean, it has mandibles and it has white skin, but dreadlocks.
Don't forget this. Don't forget it has a spear. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Predators have
Oh, spear.
spears.
It also has an explosive armband, but I don't see how that relates.
Yeah, and it has a fucking like a fucking buzzsaw disc that comes back to it like Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
You know.
It's got a shoulder
what?
laser. Shoulder laser is very much meaning that it's obvious that he's black because he's got a shoulder laser. I mean, don't all black people have like a little laser that pops out of their shoulder?
Hello, Moira. How you doing? How's it going? We're just talking bullshit here.
Yeah.
And I forget the thing where they said how aliens. Oh,
I don't.
it was like
I don't know.
it was a 2-for-1. It was a 2-for-1 of aliens and predators about how racist they are, and I wish I would have saved the article. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh yeah, I know. Because there was, I think, trying to claim that aliens was like black people because they like was used.
Oh, because they're actually black, though. Because they're the aliens are actually black skin.
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not all black. It's only like certain species of alien are. And it's based because what the alien manifests as is based on what animal or like if it's a human or if it's a dog or if it's a different animal that the facehugger infests. It takes on some of their genetics.
But in Alien vs. Predator, the like nasty ones that was going to damage
the majority of them were black skinned, I guess is what their point was trying to be. Like especially in the first couple. In the first couple, they were all black skinned in the first couple of Alien movies.
I know. Well, these so-called journalists, they just do daft things, say daft things like that, just so they get a response. What was it? Someone recently saying, that was it. The Kong versus Godzilla movie. There was someone saying, how can we get political correctness when it's just a gorilla beating up a lizard and that? There was good things.
It wasn't just about a gorilla beating up a lizard. It was mostly about the people who were the humans talking and shit.
Yeah, well, they come. I'm not complaining about it.
If it's a movie where the gorilla beats up the lizard, don't you just want to see them those two things beat the shit out of each other? I don't want to hear. Nope. I don't want to hear 45 minutes of humans talking in between shit.
The first 45 minutes, it's just people talking about shit. And I think that when you got that scene where they're on the aircraft carriers, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time learning about the people on the aircraft carriers and hearing about them and understanding who they are as people, because in a few minutes they're all going to die when they start fighting there. You want to not care about the humans that are being killed. You only want to care about the lizard and the monkey. That's it.
Yeah. Now the films are, aren't they? Can't really damage the rest. It's like if
did you see the movie?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. But it's like I've seen it because I've been listening to quite a few people saying like what's been happening and that. Because I was listening to you and your mate, I forget his name, but you did like a review on it, and
Oh yeah,
then I was
my friend Mike.
yeah, and then I was into Vigilante Williams, and he was going on because he was thinking that Kong won like 3 out of 2, 2 out of 3
Oh,
battles.
I didn't see. What was it? Was it Skull Island? I didn't see it.
That was pretty good.
So I don't know shit of that.
I like Kong Skull Island more
Yeah,
than
go
I
ahead,
like.
Santana.
Oh, I just wanted to say I like Kong Skull Island more than I like Godzilla 2014, and I didn't even see Godzilla King of the Monsters. Having said that, I just watched Godzilla vs. King Kong, and I really liked it. The only criticism I have of it is I felt they made King Kong look too weak. That's pretty much it.
I agree. They did.
You know, King Kong too weak.
Yeah,
You said no.
yeah, they made him look too weak. In my
They made him powerful.
No, not really. I mean, the only reason Kong had any way of beating, like in the water, he didn't really beat. The Kong didn't really beat Godzilla because the Kong was about to be drowned, and it was the humans that saved him.
Yeah.
And the only time where he actually does beat Godzilla. As I say, the only time he actually does beat Godzilla is when he's got the axe. The axe is the only thing that gives Kong the slightest advantage over Godzilla, and Godzilla still kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Well,
first of all, Godzilla fucked him up for most of that movie. Godzilla fucked him up for most of that movie, but didn't kill him, right? And I knew once I was watching this fucking movie that there was going to be this fucking Batman v Superman type ending. I fucking knew it.
Oh yeah.
That they were going to team up.
Yeah,
and fight a bigger enemy. So there could be no winner. I knew it, and they did the exact same fucking thing. They fucking brought in Godzilla.
There was a winner because Godzilla put down. So there was a winner because Godzilla put down
I'm talking,
Kong, and then after Godzilla had put down Kong, and Kong was essentially dead, then they teamed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had to use the space
That was so
car
dumb.
defibrillator.
Blow
on
the space
him.
car up.
Yeah,
oh, that's so dumb. So dumb.
I
would have preferred
that
they had have gotten. They had have gone and got that ship and got some cables and wrapped it around the handle of his axe, of Kong's axe, and picked the axe up and dragged it over to him, and that then the energy in the axe went down the axe and into him and woke Kong back to recharged Kong, and that would have been a lot more. I would have enjoyed that a lot more than we just got to blow up this ship, so we got to put the ship on his chest and blow it up, and that'll save him.
Positives from the film.
Another explosion is going to save him.
Yeah.
Okay. Blowing him up again.
Okay.
The positives of the film for me were they made the human characters have as little dialogue as possible, just enough to push the plot forward and to sort of fill in some exposition things. So that I enjoyed.
Dude, they had the first 40 minutes, the first 45 minutes and 50 minutes is talking. And
it
people.
is?
It is.
It was fighting.
No.
We were looking at it in the backstage, and we went through it, and we were literally while it was playing, having this argument about there's too much talking in it, and then we went and had a look, and it's like 45 minutes in, and they're still talking.
You know why I'm comparing it to that? It's because of the fucking 2014 Godzilla movie. 14 Godzilla movie bored me to fucking tears.
Yeah, same with
that
me.
2014 Godzilla movie.
Fuck the human. That's why I still like the 1962 Godzilla vs. King Kong. It's superior because they made those two pretty evenly matched, and only by electricity could King Kong grow big enough to beat Godzilla. So it gave both a way to not look like, less dominant than the other, but it clearly said Godzilla with that, Godzilla could be Kong, but Kong could be Godzilla, but Kong needs this and this. So I figured, okay, the electricity in this new film is the axe. The axe gives him like fucking Stormbreaker Thor type shit. But he still got his arm dislocated and was totally on the verge of death.
Yeah,
I
he still got
hated
his
that.
ass handed to him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thinking about it just
by the
makes
way,
me pisses me off. But let me just finish. When I did initially see
All right.
it, I really, really liked it.
so wait, I'm bringing something up right here.
Yeah. Hey, Philip,
Anyone
how's it going?
familiar with this movie?
No, I
Hello,
haven't heard of
Philip
it.
Blair, by the way. Anyone familiar with this movie? Sentinel?
Yeah,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Jens?
I don't think so, unless like
Dennis Quaid and
Louis Gossett
who
Jr.
was it? Who played the alien? Louis Gossett Jr.
Gossett
as
Jr.
the alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Louis Gossett
It's a
Jr. as the alien.
That's
I think I've seen this one ages ago.
yeah. So did I. But I definitely remember
Yeah.
this.
is that the one where the crash, the two fighters plays and the battle fighters and the crash, and then they've got to like work together to survive.
And then they have to live on the planet. Yes.
Yeah, now,
together.
now I have seen it. Yeah.
It's like Robinson Crusoe in space, basically.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was more like where in World War II or something, where there'd be a Japanese and American pilot or something, and they crash on a desert island. Yeah,
Hell
a bit
in the
like
Pacific.
that.
I know what you're talking about. Hell in the Pacific.
Then it sort of turns into like a Robinson Crusoe thing where they both sort of like work together in that where they get themselves a camp going. Yeah.
Chris, you ever heard of this one before?
Sorry? Sasha?
Chris, you ever heard of this one before?
I have heard of it. I remember back in the old
Never heard
VHS
of this one
days.
before?
I have heard of it. I remember back in the old VHS days, I'd go to the it was like on the rack at the Blockbuster.
Oh yeah,
I remember
it's one of those
going
ones
through
you'd
all
see
the
on
different.
the shelf. One of those ones you'd see on the shelf all the time.
Yeah.
I know
And
exactly
you
what
pass
you're
it and you
talking
pass
about.
it, and it gets to the point where you're going through all those movies.
Those movies you know from the shelf, and the movies you know from looking at them on the shelf, but you never pick them up, right?
You pick it up and you read the back of it and you go, yeah, all right, that could be a possibility, and you put it back and you go find something else and you take that.
Yeah.
But no, eventually you do get round to those movies once you've watched everything they have.
Yeah, I was like that where there was another film where it was about a Russian dancer that crashed over Russia or something, and he was the KGB or whatever, and so he's back in Russia, and he escapes with his mate and that. But the front cover looked really good, as in it looked like there was going to be some kung fu, but it was something
What's this one called?
Oh, I forget what it was called, but it had Paul McCartney at the end. Obviously, not in person, but it had his No More Lonely Nights song playing. It was dance so much. Break dance free or something like that. It could be. I can't remember, but it was about a Russian dancer. It had that black dude who was in that film with fucking
that black dude who was in that film isn't very
Billy Crystal. Well, there's that City. Was it not City? Cult? Was that cult? The film with Billy Crystal and like the cops.
Oh shit, Running Scared.
Yeah, Running Scared. The black dude in Running Scared is in this film, and so because I've seen him,
Gregory Hines.
right? Yeah. Well, because I've seen him in Running Scared, I thought, oh, we might do some kung fu in this because he looked like he was going to do some kung fu and that shit. And then no, it was a bit like that film with the what we just talking about and that, where it looked more actiony than it was the front cover.
Well, they also I also like when they used to like spring up like random people as action heroes, like in the 80s and 90s. Like they had that like Lou Diamond Phillips, where he had that fucking movie where he he was a cop and he's trying to stop like a satanic ritual killer. Oh shit! What the fuck was this movie? Sentinel, do you know this movie? This movie sounds familiar.
Speaking of which, it's probably on Amazon Prime by now. And segueing into Amazon Prime, there are so many movies now available on it that just bring back 90s nostalgia. For example, Bebe's Kids is available to watch on Amazon Prime.
Bebe's Kids?
Yeah. You remember that?
Of course I remember that. That was with the fucking father
I've
from
never seen
House
it.
Party.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The father from House Party. He made that movie, The Party.
Are you going to be watching WrestleMania this year?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I'm not.
Yeah, I feel the
about as
same
much
way,
interest
just not
as I'm going
interested.
with. I mean, I watch it when I go to my friend's house.
Yeah,
I don't care about it. I don't watch Raw every week.
neither do I.
It's like a lot of things. Like it's a lot of things, like comic books, video games, movies. I
Yeah,
cling on to the old stuff as opposed to talk about the new stuff.
right.
I would rather talk about the old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No John Cena, no Undertaker. Yeah, it's just I'm not. There's no reason for me to watch. Really, they couldn't make the card any less appealing to me. You know.
I mean,
They
you're
haven't
still
got
a
those big
football fan,
personalities
though.
anymore.
I mean, I like Pat McAfee, and there's some really great talent around the roster that they could have utilized to really make it a must-see event. Because WrestleMania used to be must-see. I mean, you could ignore all the other terrible pay-per-views, around the time, but the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania were must-see
Well,
events.
the Royal Rumble was always the best. I'm sorry, like WrestleMania. Yeah, I know WrestleMania is supposed to be the best shit of everything, but I'm sorry, the Royal Rumble was always way more interesting. It's the Royal Rumble match itself.
Yeah,
The
I agree.
idea of the Royal Rumble match itself was an event.
Yes, it's genius, absolutely. So, but yeah, I wanted to ask you because I know you're a big wrestling guy like myself, but I'm in that indifferent boat, like I think like you are. If it's on and I'm at a friend's house, yeah, we'll watch. Have some food. Kind of try to enjoy it, but there's no characters that I want to see. There's no storylines that are really any good anymore.
No, no, there's not. There's really not.
I'd rather just watch UFC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And that's WWE's fault is that they made it too
But you know what?
sports-oriented.
I don't. You know what though? You know what though, Chris? I'll have to say this. I'd rather watch original UFC than watch these days UFC. Original
Oh yeah, I haven't
UFC,
seen UFC for a
these
while.
motherfuckers
I
were
honestly haven't seen it for a while.
original
The original
UFC
stuff where they had people who were matched up against
when
each
they
other who were like you'd get a guy who was say
no weight
someone sort of
class,
martial arts
no
against
weight class, no weight class. It was no weight class though. There was no weight class, and it was a one night tournament. So you win one match, you're fighting again.
yeah.
That's
You would
fucking
original
it's
awesome. I
like
didn't
a
know
King of
that.
the Ring type thing.
It was really like
It's-
King of the
Yeah,
Ring back
the
in the day?
original UFC.
Oh, fuck.
It was
Yup,
basically you
the
fight.
original
If you go out,
UFC.
if you win, then you keep fighting to the next guy, and
It
if
was-
you win, you keep going to the next guy.
Yup,
It was
And if you
fucking
lose, then you're out,
Bloodsport.
and then
no weight
the
class.
guy you fight goes
Oh.
to the next
No
one.
weight class.
Damn,
And
I
no
missed
weight
out.
class.
You got to climb the ladder.
This 178-pound dude beat the fuck out of a 600-pound sumo guy. And he couldn't make the next match because he broke his hand punching the sumo guy in the head to make him quit.
Yeah.
So they had to have alternates. They had to have alternates for the tournament.
That's fucking awesome. It was like
Yeah,
Bloodsport.
those original UFC things.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's exactly what
UFC.
they were going for.
Yeah, didn't UFC used to like
I think
before
that's
it even
exactly
got
what- and it
close
was
to
more
being
fun.
like before even going close to being on TV and like being televised and stuff like that, wasn't it like originally like an illegal fighting it was some sort of illegal
remember
fighting
there
thing
was-
that eventually
it was-
became legit.
There
I
was
think
a
so. I
point
think it was
here
persecuted, for a while. I know the athletic commissions didn't approve of any of it, and so they held these UFC events illegally, so to speak.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you guys. I'll tell you guys something right now. And it was, I believe, it was 1994. Rudy Giuliani is mayor here in New York City. They were supposed to have an event. Rudy Giuliani shut them down, and I believe that was the beginning of them getting banned from other places. But Rudy Giuliani got them banned from fighting in New York. It was the 90s when Rudy Giuliani was still mayor.
Well, there was eye gouging, not eye gouging, but there was
No,
eye
there
gouging.
wasn't eye gouging. There wasn't eye gouging. No, there wasn't. There was two. Eye gouging wasn't allowed in UFC. Eye gouging wasn't allowed.
No eye gouging and no
Everything
biting
else
or
was.
something, and that was about it. There's no eye gouging and no biting, and that was it.
Eye gouging. Yes, it was biting,
Yeah.
eye gouging. Yes.
Yeah, and
You could pull someone's hair. You could fucking like.
Kick 'em in the
Low
balls.
blow, anything you
could
want.
elbow someone. You could. Now there's a rule where you can't kick someone while they're down, like while they're on a knee. Now you used to be able to stomp on someone's face.
Yeah.
While they were down.
The band that's spinning like punch, like where you just like spin around and then throw your arm out. It's like a spinning like punch. Yeah, the band that.
Like a back fist, like a spinning back fist type shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that shit actually just more showboating than anything else?
No, because like
No, I see.
there's a few showboaters.
No, Chris. Some people land these shots. Some people do land these types of showboating shots. I've seen it before.
Well, no, but yeah, they
do
can land them. But then it's
Like,
far
they're-
more efficient to like just do a straight punch than it is to do something like that.
Oh yeah,
and you end up in like if you land that you could if you line it up and you look it straight down and you hit that one shot it takes their jaw out.
Well, you've never been in a fight because first thing you got to fight. No, yeah, look, let someone talk who's been in a fight. When you're fighting, whatever move you use is going to be useless depending on your opponent. Because if your opponent's fucking like Bruce Lee and he's all over, a straight punch is not going to do much because even to your average boxer, a straight punch is going to be easily duckable. The thing with fighting is, and this is why I love watching martial art movies, is it's all about selling your body where your opponent thinks you're going to do something, like throw a kick or something, and then you throw a punch, or he thinks you're going to throw a punch, and
you're saying like ducking your head in to draw them in for a punch and then throw a counter.
Yeah, you got all that in fighting, so every move could like cause damage depending on like what position your opponent's in.
Yeah, but then most of the time when they're pulling these, I've seen them pulling off those sorts of moves. It's like they're not. They're. It's not like they've knocked their opponent and their opponent's not looking. Their opponent's looking, and they're gonna like to spin around. You're giving like a lot of notice that a punch is coming. Because there's a lot more time it takes to spin around and land it than it does to go straight in.
You're also going to need in order to be a professional boxer, you're also going to need a lot of endurance. You're going to need cardio and all that shit.
Yeah.
And
well, fighting moves, right? You see, the best time to attack your opponent is when your opponent is attacking you. But obviously, you've got to know what attack your opponent's going to be using. And there's some like fighters that they know by watching and studying their opponents because they've been watching them train and in other like bouts and that. So they know the style and technique. And so opponents know like when a dude comes in with, like, say, a right hook or something, he leans forward and puts his guard down. So, once you see him leaning in to throw that right hook, you know where he's going to be vulnerable. And if you've got, like, a spinning roundhouse kick that can hit that spot, and as soon as you see him do it, and you put that round-off kick, because when you see these fighters in the UFC, they are doing some nice kicks where they are fast. And if you're throwing a punch or something, you're not off balance, but you're concentrating on your weight going in one direction. And if your opponent moves and counterreacts, that's why I love watching martial arts. That's why they make these soy nerds watch fucking women fight, where it's like, oh yeah, when you see like
a lot of the martial arts that are for women and based on that is not flowery; it's straight to the point. You don't do a spinning roundhouse kick; you do straight down the middle.
Yeah, but fighting it's like sports. If you watch female basketball, if you watch female basketball, you wouldn't even know what a slam dunk was. And if you saw a slam dunk, you'd be like, what is that? What? You jumped up and slammed the ball. I've never seen that before. It's like, no, you watching women's fucking basketball.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you don't know.
I'm not sure this has got to do with basketball.
Watch Hoist Gracie's fights.
active
The
roots.
original
Yes.
That's
UFC.
what it's got.
Yes, that stuff is amazing. I
I put the
love
link
that
in the
type of
chat.
fighting.
to
Jens,
yeah.
Is
Well,
that
Jens,
it?
watch Hoist
Is that
Gracie's
the thing?
original fights in UFC, where he holds on to some dude for like fucking 10 minutes and manages to choke him out. He like crawls
that was
up him
Dan
like a
Severn.
fucking spider monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gracie
he
was
did that
That's
to
fucking awesome.
Dan
crazy
Severn.
shit.
Yeah, he did that to Dan
Gracie was
Severn.
amazing.
He did that shit to Dan. No, he wasn't
Dan
amazing.
Severn-
That motherfucker was boring to watch. Oh my god,
No,
I
man,
hated
I love watching that
dude.
shit
I hated
because
watching.
if you know what he's doing and you know about the techniques that he's using, like you're sitting there and you're watching,
That
it's
Dan
like watching
Severn
a chess
fight.
match.
Oh my
A lot of the
Yeah.
time,
That
watching
Dan
Gracie fight is like
Severn
watching a
fight
chess
seems
match.
So set up though.
Well, what's all about?
That Dan Severn
Fighting
fight seems so set up though.
It's like-
That Dan Severn fight.
That fighting is playing physical chess where you throw a pawn to make them attack with the queen, and then you use your bishop or whatever to fucking swipe them. Because
But
the
Sentinel,
best
which match is
fight
this?
is
What?
the best fight
Gracie
is
starts at
Sentinel,
about
which
3:47
match is
in.
this?
Okay. Let me just
I
set it
can't
up.
show
This
it.
I know. This is
I can't
the
show it.
highlights from the first UFC event. It's got that guy fighting the sumo. It's got and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of others. King Shamrock. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. If you want. I'm watching it right now just to see if I can. I'm
Yeah,
checking
that-
it out. It looks brutal. Oh my!
You get that boxer dude.
He's down.
They
He's
got
down.
with this one boxing glove. Didn't they? They got that dude,
Yes,
that boxer
yes, exactly. Yes. Holy shit. Yes, you're exactly right. There was a guy that legit, his background was boxing, and he had one boxing glove. I totally forgot about that. He legit was wearing one boxing glove. And what do you think happened to him in his fight? Just take a
But yeah, but thing though, it was one of them where if he'd used the boxing glove because the boxing glove is that dude who would have been punching the sumo dude in the head would be using the boxing glove. He could probably have been all right for the next round.
But you're stepping into a fucking MMA ring and you're gonna wear a boxing glove?
Yeah, but boxers are.
What are you thinking?
Well,
Yeah, but
you're
boxers
protecting
wear-
your hand.
Yeah, boxers wear gloves to protect them, or what? He would have been better
Okay,
off with a street fighting boxing glove,
But
where it's just like a fingerless glove.
Yeah. It's just like
but
patting
only
across your
protect
knuckles in your hand,
one
and
hand.
sometimes they have a
Yeah,
strap
yeah.
for your wrists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they use them.
I've had one like that for a while.
but you're only gonna protect one hand.
Yeah,
One
but
fucking hand.
did he have his hand taped up though? Because I can't remember if he did. Because if he didn't, then yeah, it's a bit shit. Well, if he had his hand taped
Oh, no.
up though.
It depends, because like, sometimes you can't get your hand, like those gloves have a little bit of restriction in them. And if he was also did some grappling, then having a hand free to be able to get into the grappling, it could be useful. As he's got one hand that he knows that he can punch as hard as he wants with his hand, and the other hand he's
think it was,
it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just a gimmick there.
no,
Oh man!
it was just
You know the
stupid
guy with
gimmick.
one boxing
That's all it
glove
was.
in that
Yeah,
fight?
That's what it was.
Yeah, the guy with the one boxing
Yeah.
glove fought Royce Gracie. Royce Gracie took him out. I was just watching the highlight.
Oh, is that I saw the one where in that series where Royce Gracie took him down, and it was too. That wasn't a good Gracie match in that YouTube video. The good ones are the people who know a little bit of grappling, and they keep getting out of his locks and stuff like that. And he like with this one, he basically just pinned the guy to the ground, and it was just like, well, he can't get up now. He loses because he can't get up. and he taps out.
Yeah,
But,
he's got that. He's
the
got
ones
that
that are good are the
spider
guys
monkey.
who just
His-
keep
his
going.
style is spider.
But no, but
He's
when
got
he
spider
gets going
monkey
against someone who knows
style.
what they're doing,
That's what he's crazy.
he'll break people's arms and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like he'll get real nasty when someone gets a few blows in on him, and then that person knows how to grapple and can get out of his holds, he'll just fucking choke that guy out or break their arm or something, or break a leg or something. You just twist it up, snap, arm's gone. That's it. You're out. You're done.
Monkey.
He's a spider monkey. I fucking love watching it.
Spider monkey fighter.
It's like watching a spider wrap itself around something and eat it.
Yeah, but it's.
I know, but it gets kind of boring when you watch a bunch of people straight up like right crossing each other in the face and fucking elbowing each other, and then that's how the end fight happens. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know. I find that watching the sort of just the straight out blows is kind of disappointing, because that's just sort of like how much of a blow you can take.
But Hoist Gracie versus Dan Severn was very disappointing. It was like Hoist Gracie was just holding on to him for so long, and then like in the final seconds he made him tap. It was very disappointing.
Yeah, no, if it wins, that's right. Yeah, any fighting technique, if it does the job, then it's a good technique. That's what I say.
But
but there is a lot of
the sumo guy
rolling around.
The sumo guy. There was this big fat black sumo dude named Emmanuel Yarborough who was like a truck driver. This dude was like a truck driver from New Jersey who became a sumo wrestler. And I believe this is the dude who got he's the dude who got knocked out by the 178-pound guy. And the 178-pound guy broke his hand on his face. The sumo dude was on his ass, so 178-pound dude decided to stand behind him and just start cracking him in the face over and over again until the fight was over.
Yeah, the referee had to come in there and stop that. Because he has still been chopping his fucking head because they're like, ref had to stop it, didn't he? It wasn't like he passed out. He was still going to take some more.
No, he didn't. No, yeah. He didn't pass out. He was just sitting on his ass, and the ref was like, "Okay, you had enough. You had enough face blasts. You're not getting up."
Yeah.
This dude's got a couple matches though.
I don't think there was time in that.
This dude fought a couple matches, and I never saw him win a match, but he fought a couple matches.
You're going
A second round for a bit. At least I'll run this for a bit. I'll be back in a second. Just give me 1 second, everybody.
Yeah. Anyone remember when Tank Abbott broke that dude's jaw and he was sort of like nearly convulsing?
I didn't see that one. No.
Yeah, it was I think 3 or 4. The UFC, because it could have been 2, but I don't think it was. I think it was rather 3 or 4 UFC number 4. But yeah, this dude, he was like claiming that he was real good at like breaking people's like arms and legs and that by like using some kind of technique of some kind of like jiu-jitsu-y sort of technique. And Tank Abbott just like Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like this dude, because like it was real early. Because what was happening was there was getting like these martial artists who was like good at like whatever martial arts or fighting technique, they did, but most of them haven't really been in a real good street fight and that, which Tank Abbott was like a street fighter or whatever, where underground, where I think you were saying, like, before it was legal, I think he was doing that before it, he was doing like underground.
There's a lot of them that, a lot of techniques that, as a martial arts, they work good in a situation where you're going up against someone who doesn't know what they're doing, or you're going up against someone that sort of knows the same sort of rules or another technique similar to yours. Then those sort of techniques are good against each other because the two forms were like there's certain rules and certain things you do and don't do, and it all sort of has the similar rules. But then when you get into an actual street fight where there's no rules and you just go for it, then it sort of starts to fall apart. The technique maybe doesn't really hold up.
Yeah.
There's actually a guy in China there was this dude in China who would go around. So he said basically any of the people who have a technique that say their technique is the best technique and can beat anyone, that he was willing to fight any of those masters and to guarantee that he would beat the living crap out of them. And then the Chinese government removed his. Sorry, what was that?
He was fighting old men.
Yeah, but all these old men were saying that they had most of these old men were saying they had techniques that could beat anyone. And he's saying that no, your techniques are load of shit. And then the Chinese fucking depersoned him.
Oh yeah, this is like the martial arts. This is why I love reaction and like martial art films, because if you know anything about China, they are so pissed off with Bruce Lee coming to the West and like saying, "Hey, look, I'll teach you a few kung fu."
Yeah,
moves.
Old people fuck some people up, man. Like just because a young dude wants to step to an old. Just because a young dude wants to step to an old dude doesn't mean that the young dude is
I've seen it I saw a video on the bus of there's this like old dude. He's pretty stocky looking fella with a bit of a belly on him with the white beard, and these guys come up to him and start picking on him as if it's like we're gonna first start a fight with this old dude. And he stands up and he just pow pow, and they just drops him like a sack of shit.
Wait.
Yeah.
Chris, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Chris, you're talking about. Call the ambulance. Call the ambulance.
I think so. It was a while ago.
This dude. Yeah, that was probably over 10 years ago. But this dude is leaking out of his nose after he picked a fight with the big old white dude, and this dude cracked him open. Like this dude had him in the seat of the bus. It's like. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, these old men, they've never been, trained to take a punch, because that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't matter, it's the old saying, it doesn't matter how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's what the headgear is for. But that's what the headgear is for.
That's what the headgear and the neck brace is for, after you get hit.
That's what Rocky's for.
What?
Rocky. That's what Rocky's for, because that's like, don't know how hard you get hit. Don't know how hard you hit. It's how hard you can get hit.
The Rocky 4, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it was in some whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I think it was Rocky. Yeah. Well, that's the same, though, because it's having a class job. Like, there's been a few boxers who were pretty good at boxing, but once they got cracked on the jaw, they were out. And like, nah.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's the sweet spot on the jaw. Knock you out. Think. What was that?
Oh, I got hit on the sweet spot, and the very last fist fight I got into. I got hit on that part on the jaw that was supposed to knock me out, and it didn't do it.
Now, Yeah, if Mike Tyson.
I know that part.
It,
I know
So
the
it's not
exact
just the
part
point.
you're talking
There's a
about.
lot of things come into it because what it's doing is it's basically the muscles and stuff in your neck have been twisted so hard and so
But
sharp that it's causing the sudden shock on the base of the spinal cord, which knocks you out.
well,
But
I
so there's a
also
lot of
know
things
I
other than just
also
hitting the
know
right spot
someone,
that comes into it.
but I also
I'll tell
know
you too, I
someone
know.
who got shot in the face. I know someone who got shot in the face with a BB and it hit him in the same exact spot.
But I know it's a glance and all. There's sometimes where you don't even have to hit the jaw that hard. It's just that, as you say, that movement that just makes the
The sudden
jaw
snap.
sort of like
Oh well
yeah,
actually, what happened with the fight I was in was this dude when he was throwing the right, he had a ring on his hand, so he cut me open
Tranny.
Nasty.
when he was throwing. He cut me open when he was throwing the right, and he
Yeah.
knocked me down a couple times, but I kept springing back up at him. And like we were fighting in between two cars. It was kind of like a pinball machine. The way we were fighting between two cars.
yeah. Yeah,
Sorry to
yeah.
laugh. I'm not laughing at you, but just the idea of like being in between two cars is like ding 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 as you're bouncing off the cars.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Yeah, it was kind of like that. And I was way too old in my life to be getting into a parking lot brawl like this.
Yeah, you should have been watching some Steven Seagal movies and you'd have slammed him around a few times if he just fucked off.
I actually tried to.
Need to start to win more.
I like grabbed this dude by his face, like Undertaker style, and I had him back on the car, and I was trying to jab my thumbs into his eyeballs.
Yeah, good move.
He like pushed me off before I could get my thumbs into his eyeballs. He like pushed me off of him. Yo, this dude was like 100 pounds heavier than me, but I was going at it with him.
Yeah, well, you've got some Bruce Lee. Look, I'll say, man, Bruce Lee, he is one hell of a fighter. The stuff he does.
I wasn't exactly doing any Bruce Lee stuff.
No one really does. There's been a few, but like it was back in the 60s, like late 60s, and that's and so like if it had been around today with all like the equipment and everything that and he'd be making great films. Oh yeah.
Oh, the shit he would do would be
did you ever see
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because he was so fast.
What was the?
Too. You know,
That's
Sasha?
with power and all.
Yeah, Sentinel. What was the movie of Sentinel?
can you hear me? Oh,
You're cutting
Sentinel.
it.
What was the Sentinel? What was the movie about him in the 90s? It was
Dragon, the
Scott
Bruce Lee
right?
story.
Enter the Dragon, was it?
No, it was Dragon. The
That was his
that was his
film.
biopic.
Film. Oh, and the Dragon. Fucking love the theme tune.
Yeah, that was with Jason Scott Lee as Bruce Lee, and he did a great job. That biopic takes a lot of fucking creative liberties, but it's entertaining as hell. I love it.
Yeah, Bruce Lee movies are always fun.
No, this is like a biopic, Krish.
Was it the one that was like? But it was like
Dragon.
it was It wasn't like a documentary. It was like the story of his life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
an actual
Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
biopic It was
Yeah.
directed by Rob Cohen, who also did the first Fast and Furious movie, and it had Lauren Holly in it. Do you remember Lauren
Yeah,
Holly?
I remember seeing the movie years and years
Yeah.
ago. It was
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember enjoying it a lot.
Yeah,
And it's the sort of movie you watch it and go, I need to see Bruce Lee films.
yes,
I need to get all the Bruce Lee films and watch them now.
right.
Yeah, you know what? It kind of was like that. It kind of was like
Yeah.
that. This makes me want to go see some more Bruce Lee movies.
Right,
Yeah.
because what it does as a biopic is it's really not that accurate, but it takes the creative liberties it takes enhances the
The lore.
legend surrounding Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
legend, the man, the myth.
the man, the myth,
Yeah.
the legend surrounding Bruce Lee, and
Yeah.
it did more. I think that in that case, I think it did more of a positive for Bruce's legacy than a exact telling of his life. Uh,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
time to time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit like
How they
Grammar
ripped him
Band.
off of.
I always told half a story though.
Get that whole
Fucking-
thing.
Well, like, there's quite a few things on YouTube with people who was around at the time and that, because there's that famous incident on Enter the Dragon where, because you've all seen Enter the Dragon, yeah?
Yeah, I own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was like loads of extras, weren't they? And so, like, there was one extra that started mouthing off, saying like, "Oh, you're not that good," and that. So Bruce Lee was like, "All right, then, mate." Well, obviously he didn't say mate, but he was like, "Oh, okay, come down here then, and sort of see what you got of that." And I think it got a bit nasty or something because Bruce Lee might have been fast but like I think the dude tried to whip Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee just like kicked him or whatever and like so hard and that, like it fucked him up and that, and then like all the other extras who didn't think like Bruce Lee was all that good if there was any of them, like probably thought, oh yeah, no, that is good, right? We'll better like do what he says.
Right. You know, Snowdub is a Bruce Lee expert. If he was on here, he'd probably give us a lot of good stories about everything. But having saying that, yeah, I know about that. That story about the extras constantly, being pissed off at Bruce and constantly wanting to fight him. You know.
Well, I think it was apparently some dude who probably thought, like, if I sort of like mouth off to Bruce Lee and like he backs down or whatever, then I can go around saying, oh yeah, I'm just as good as Bruce Lee. He won't take me on, sort of thing. But then, like, for some reason, Bruce Lee was like, no, fuck that. I'm not taking this shit. And that is like, come down, and I think maybe he did say to him, if you think you're good enough or something, like, come down and beat me up, and you can probably like be the star of the film or something like that. And so he went down, but he went down anyway, and Bruce Lee beat the crap out of him, and he didn't sue him because he must have been one of them where he must have thrown the first punch or the first kick, depending on how it went down. But yeah, that's class though, isn't it? Like,
there was always talk of shit of people like that trying to be tough guys to each other. There is that fucking what the fuck.
Yeah.
This dude who was in some like B grade movies because he was one of the Hell's Angels. Chuck Zito. There we go. Chuck Zito. He was hired to be like a bodyguard for certain Hollywood stars, and Van Damme supposedly fired him, and they were in a bathroom together, and this dude knocked out Van Damme with one punch.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're always gonna hear stories like that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
None of
Van
that
like
stuff
Damme.
turns into myth and legend in the end, anyway.
Although I
Yeah.
could
So
see
the
Van,
stories get
I
retold.
I could actually see Van Damme in real life getting knocked out with one punch. I won't deny that.
well, I don't think Van Damme's
Van
big is
Damme.
he?
Well, no, I think that it'd be really hard to knock him out with one punch because every time you go to hit him, he'll do the splits and whoop, he's gone.
Yeah, he's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he'll do it.
down, bro.
Jumping. Yeah, he'll do a jumping split roundhouse kick to the fucking face as soon as you try to punch him.
Yeah, I think
Especially
for me,
after one of his especially after a coke bender.
yeah. Hey, listen, Slasher, I've got to get going, but thank you for having me on. Yeah, thank you.
No problem, man.
It was pretty
Thanks for
fun.
coming through,
Krish and Jens, thanks
Yeah.
for having me on. Let's do
Good
this
seeing
again
you,
sometime
dude.
soon. All right? Take care, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Catch you later, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good night, man. Later, Sentinel. Probably gonna run for like another 15 minutes. Anyone wants to
Hey, well-
pass, you're welcome to.
Talking
I'm not holding anyone hostage.
I want to talk about the new Mortal Kombat film because
I'm really looking forward to it.
yeah, that's probably gonna be
You're really
because
looking forward to local combat
Yeah,
yeah,
because they're going full woke.
yeah. And we're fine.
well, if it is full
What do you
war,
mean, whoa?
there is going to be some good acting
Just
because
because they took Johnny. Are you saying? Wait, Krish. Wait.
They
hold
took
on,
Johnny
Jen.
Cage out because he's a
Wait,
white
just-
man.
yeah, well,
But, okay, but there's not going to be other white. There's going to be no.
Okay, they
other
took
white
Johnny
men
Cage
in it?
out because
All
he's a
right, well,
white
first
man.
of
You
all,
don't think
anyway-
that's not going to that sort of mentality is not going to affect the rest of the show?
that's a film.
Are we getting gore? Are we getting gore? Are we finally getting
Yeah.
rims ripped off and fucking people set on fire? Are we finally getting that? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
I think so. And I think some
So you don't care what the story is. You just care that there's lots of blood and violence.
Because
And
we
good
had
martial
two
arts.
crappy-
because that's what it's going to be.
we had two Mortal Kombat movies. One was okay. One was really shitty. It's not like there was nothing but white people in those movies anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, but you really want
mean,
them to be constantly like you get blood and violence, and then telling you about how they're so oppressed and everything like that, and then more blood and gore and violence, and telling them how about women are strong, and then more blood and gore and violence. Yeah, if you want to watch that,
All
okay.
right, well, I know this is I know it's a Warner Brothers. I know it's a Warner.
There'll be
Brothers.
some good martial arts in it. Because the dude who's playing Sub-Zero,
Fuck these days.
yeah, but the dude who's playing Sub-Zero, he's good at martial arts. He's been training like since he's been a kid. You know, he's one of them where he fucking knows how to do kicks and fucking punches and
Yeah,
fucking
a lot of
backflips.
but Jens, a lot of people have though. A lot of people have. A lot of people have been like training in martial arts and ever since they were
Yeah,
kids.
a lot of people have been
Yeah.
playing guitar for all the life, but they're not that talented. They don't do all that good. He's a talented martial artist. He's fucking good. I know because
And also, just because you're good at also just because you're good at martial arts doesn't mean it's going to carry over to movies.
now I've seen some of the clips from that, I've seen some of the fucking the trailer and that shit, and I've seen some of the moves. He's gonna do some good moves. It's gonna be where some of the people that watch it, they'll be like thinking, okay, now they're using special effects and that, but obviously with the ice stuff and that, but the fighting stuff will be basically just them doing proper fighting and that.
I just want to see people. I just want to see limbs and heads getting ripped off. That's all I care about.
Yeah, but you got to see the fighting beforehand, don't you? Mortal Kombat 1, just, fight! Fatality!
I want to see Raiden electrocuting people's heads and they just explode. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, you might go.
I wanted one Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, I know you're definitely going to be seeing Scorpion throwing his fucking thingy blade around in Sub-Zero throwing his ice.
They show it in the preview. They show it in the preview. They actually do.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some good martial arts, as I say, because like the dude that's playing Sub-Zero, he is real good at martial arts, and the dude that's going to be playing Scorpion, he's going to be real good at martial arts, or else they're going to pick someone else. So you definitely guaranteed a good end fight scene with Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
So Chris,
if not,
Chris, you don't want to see this movie?
No, I'm not going to say it now.
You don't care to?
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna. I had, if it was something new, if it was a martial arts movie that has people with like different abilities and stuff like that, that have sort of ice abilities and whatever, I might be interested in seeing it. But it being another recreation or rebooting of a old franchise, I'm not really interested in seeing it again. But it's not really a sequel because it does, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't connect to any of the previous.
No, it's a reboot. The reboot.
Yeah, it's a reboot. Yeah,
it's a reboot.
Yeah, you say reboot.
Yeah.
But they had this. I don't remember what site this. There was some site where I went to my friend's house, and he's showing me. They had like this. They had this like series that was like 15 to 20-minute episodes of Mortal Kombat where they started.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? It's an old Mortal Kombat series.
Website. I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
From my memory, something happened at the end of it. It was always like in the series they did. It was always supposed to be like the way they each time you play Mortal Kombat, as you play as different characters, you get the different storyline and stuff like that.
Yeah. Every episode,
like one character's storyline, and then right at the very end. But then at the very end, the last episode was, I think, like it was like Goro or something winning and killing everybody.
But I remember every episode was about a new character. Every episode is about a different character. I remember that. I can't remember what the fuck site this was on.
I didn't mind watching that series.
But
it was a little bit cheesy and a little bit like it wasn't Hollywood-esque high quality, but it wasn't bad.
Well, it's Mortal Kombat
episodes too, which is
going to be much higher class than the fucking series. Because in that series, though, I think they did sort of like want to make it sort of like family orientated, sort of like family.
Make it a little bit family friendly.
Yeah. Where this film, I think it's going on balls.
How the hell are you gonna make family friendly Mortal Kombat? What the? family
Oh,
friendly.
yeah, you've seen a kung fu film, haven't you?
You might as well. You might as well. You might as well make family friendly Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's why it was shit. That's why it was shit. That's why it was shit. I didn't watch it. That's why I didn't get fucking. There was fucking season. I don't know. But they tried to make it a bit better.
Oh, okay. Well,
And-
soon we are going to
and
get
trying to appeal to the kids and all.
We are going
and
to
they
get
tried to
family
appeal to
friendly
the kids.
Predator. We are going to get family friendly Predator soon. Buddy. Oh, and
CW
Well,
for
Ancient One.
Predator.
Well, this is like the dumbing down of like the Western world, isn't it? It's like, ew, look, let's watch Mortal Kombat. Don't rip the spines out. Let's kiss each other and tell each other we care.
No, family friendly fatalities.
Yeah. It was like
They did that.
friendly fatality that you could do. Yeah, it's where you do a little doll of yourself.
Well,
then-
all right, no, it will be just like the game when they started doing the friendships,
Yeah.
where like where Johnny Cage would like give people an autograph picture. They'll just start doing that.
Yeah. Taylor fucking talking about just getting like temptation of banging out the PC and banging on Mortal Kombat on the like fucking like
Okay, but
arcade conversion.
sorry.
If I want to
Maybe
play a
fucking
fighting
down.
game, I always
Well,
want
how
to
you-
play
how
with
are you
a
going-
controller.
Oh yeah, well I've got a controller.
As opposed to
Keyboard and
as
mouse for a
opposed to
fighting game. Yeah, no.
keyboard?
Uh,
No, hell no.
Yeah. There's a few times that I've been looking at getting into a few of the fighting games because they're giving them away for free on like Epic and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to bother doing that because I haven't got a controller and I'm not going to play with the keyboard. It's just not, that's not happening.
I remember
Well,
trying to
well,
play my Punch Out on a keyboard.
I tell you something though. I tell you something, Chris. If you get Street Fighter and you use Guile, he's the like American G.I. Joe, or like his fighting moves, right? Is
Yeah.
you just have to go back and then forward and press like punch. And then there's one where it's up and down and press kick. But on the keys, like you be able to do him all right on keys.
Yeah, it should. Easy. They should be easy to do that sort of thing on keys, but
Yeah.
when it comes to
but
the fighting
right,
game, like I would still rather have a controller,
Yeah,
even
if
if I'm using
you
an
go- if
analog,
you- oh.
so not the analog, the
No,
digital,
yeah.
like the D-pad thing, the up and down and left and right pad.
You know what? I hate playing fighting games with the D-pad. I'd rather a fucking joystick than a D-pad.
Yeah. For a lot of the games, yeah, you'd want a stick so you can get a little bit more of a smooth movement going.
depends what the D-pad's like, because if the D-pad's quite decent and responsive, but some D-pads, like usually the third-party ones, especially back in the night.
Yeah. Some of them are fucking awful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought one. Like it was all right to give to your mate because then you'd be able to beat them. Yeah, but there's one where like you could do the moves, but it was really, I guess, really push on the fucking D-pad. Because like the decent ones, it'd be like you didn't have to push that hard.
Yeah, no,
See, that's why I
yeah,
like.
a good controller.
That's why I like.
and
Just
yeah.
if you're against the wall or when on the games. Yeah.
But that's why I like PlayStation 2, so you can set up your controller to have the analog work like a fucking joystick for those fighting
Yeah.
games.
Well, I used to like the 64, the Nintendo 64, because that's when like the analog came out on like consoles. Well, no, there was analogs before that, but the one like the games one as detail, but there was all that analog joysticks like in like the 80s, but
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 controller was, it looked, at first look, you looked at it, it sort of looked like a toy crap sort of thing. But then once you actually worked out like how you were supposed to hold it and use it, it was actually quite like a decent controller. Like, you look at it and go, I don't know. But then when you realize that, you hold it like this and you do it like this, now it's perfect.
Yeah, because like I like the sort of trigger button, like where when you're playing GoldenEye, it was left-handed though, which like was a thingy, but I didn't care. But it was like if you had like a gun in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and, was a GoldenEye on 64. Hours and hours and hours lost playing like multiplayer on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going around to a mate's place and sitting there for like all day until like it gets dark, and then come back the next day and sit there playing it all day until it gets dark.
Yeah. I used to like.
You can say that about any video game. Like hours and hours wasted just playing video games.
Yeah. I thought wasted. It's fun. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's fun. It is, but.
Yeah. And when you're doing like the multiplayer games and stuff like that, you're like bonding with friends and shit.
Yeah.
Or you're making enemies for life.
It was a time where you had to go around to someone's house and all multiplayer.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't get online
Chris,
and do multiplayer. You had to go.
Chris, Chris, making enemies for life. So you might as well be doing YouTube then, right?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Somehow this has turned into making enemies for life, which is pretty funny.
Oh, I tell you, I was like that obsessed with GoldenEye. I did nearly all the cheats that you could unlock.
Yeah.
Like, there was only 2 that I couldn't unlock. That because you had to do the missions in.
Yeah, if you completed the game in certain times and stuff like that, it would unlock certain things.
Yeah. Because
my little brother was great at unlocking those things. He could unlock it. He'd just go through and systematically unlock each one by one, and then save the game. And so I could come back afterwards and play his saved games and have access to all the unlock shit.
Yeah. Well, I did nearly all of them, but there was 1 or 2 that it was really hard to get, and so because the pad I'd gone a bit the analog went a bit loose after a bit, and so when it went loose, you couldn't get the full sort of speed up unless you really pushed it hard, but then you couldn't move it as quick as you was doing that. So
Yeah.
But I've got all the main ones.
It's the good old days.
Jens, what was the original Nintendo called in England? Was it the NES or did you get the Famicom?
No, the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System.
It was called the NES. Okay. It was called
Yeah.
the NES. Okay. I just,
Yeah,
I just didn't know where everywhere else it was called the Famicom.
Yeah, no, because we called it
Yeah.
the NES because
Yeah.
when
NES.
the Super Nintendo came out, that got called the SNES because
Yeah.
yeah,
The SNES.
yeah, because it
So
was
it was called the
spelled
same
like
shit in Australia. Correct?
Yeah, same shit in Australia.
It was called the NES. It wasn't called the
Yep.
Famicom. Okay. I
No,
guess
no
that was just
Famicom.
a Japan thing where it was called Famicom.
I tell you something though, you could get a converter though, because I had to get one time for a game that like it'd convert like the cartridge, like you know, like a plug converter where you plug the cartridge in the converter and then the
Almost
converter
like a game
into the
genie,
console.
almost like a game genie type thing, right?
Or the Game
It
Shark,
was
whatever
almost
it's
like the
called.
game genie type shit. You had to plug
Yeah,
it into the.
yeah, give you cheats and that. Yeah, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, remember
Mental.
the game genie one that used to you could plug your game into it and you would be able to cheat your way through the game if you had the codes.
Yeah. Well, you could make up your own cheats and all, because I started fucking around with it because got like a blood cheat going where you know on GoldenEye when you shot someone, it would do like a sort of blood sort of mark on the character. Well, we did a cheat where
I didn't
it
play
keeps
the
the blood mark on.
I didn't play the 64 too much. I didn't play the 64 too much, so I didn't play much GoldenEye. I wish I would have. I didn't play too
Oh
much
yeah,
GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye was good.
oh
Really missing out.
yeah. I got a 64 just for GoldenEye because I was like,
What I did like the wrestling games on the 64 though. Those were good.
yeah,
The
'Cause I
WCW
had, like-
wrestling games on the 64.
yeah. I had a choice of like getting a PlayStation or a 64 because I'd waited and that, you know. So
Yes. I had that same decision.
yeah,
I had that same exact decision.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
went
got
to
a-
64.
I won.
I was gonna say I got the
won
PlayStation, and the PlayStation was very much worth
I
it
won
because that's
PlayStation.
when they had because once they went to CD, the like the copying of games and the cheats were you didn't have like a game genie for cheats. You just copied the game onto another disc with some other stuff added onto it. So the cheats were just an option now in the game.
Mm.
And I knew
Yeah,
a guy who lived down the road who used to do cracking the games. He used to go onto the old bulletin board services and get all the stuff for it. And you'd go around and give him $5 for the CDs, and you'd get like a spindle full of games. And half the games he'd say, "Oh, I don't know if they work. I do." Like you only asked for one game, and that's the game on the top. All the rest, he's not sure if they do work. He's not sure if they don't. Some of them are in English, some of them aren't.
Yeah, that was the thing with getting it chips and having cracked games, man.
Yeah.
There was a chance that they would fuck up now and again. Where with the cartridge, it was pretty good if the temperature was warm, but then cartridges go cold. That's why I had to blow on them and that. They'd fucking start fucking up. And they did do a few games where they over fucking tried putting over stuff in the fucking cartridge and that. And so the game would be like because there was this rally game, where a real good rally game. It was like a 2-player rally game for the 64 days, and that it was real good. Because you had like damage and tyre changes and all this, but ever so often it'd crash because there would be probably too much information for it to fucking process. And there were a few like F1 games and all.
Did either of you get the Dreamcast?
No, they had one because it had that crazy. What about the Atari Jaguar?
The Dreamcast.
Never knew anyone with that.
The Dreamcast, which was Sega's like dying fucking breath.
Yeah. It's like a thumb sticking up as it's going down into the hot metal.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. I cannot self-terminate.
Yep.
The paddle
that's kind of it.
It's a sad ending. Yeah, go through a sad ending.
But like, all right, I don't know if either of you know about sports games, but the Dreamcast was kind of the one. The Dreamcast was what set the bar for fucking sports games these days. The NBA and NFL games that the Dreamcast had, those set the standard for like the fucking other systems that came after it.
Yeah, but like those other systems, I'm sure made a lot more money.
The paddle was good on the Dreamcast.
Oh, of course. They had that weird. Didn't they have some weird ass fucking memory card too? That was like a gigabit. It was almost like a gigabit or something.
Yeah, it had a little screen on it. That's what I was saying. The pad was good because it tell you stuff on the pad.
It did, right?
Yeah.
See, I never had a dream. I never had the Dreamcast. My friends had the Dreamcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, he was real gutted. Well, it wasn't real gutted because it took him so long but he got that Shamu game, whatever it's called, but it was the first one, and like it was like, oh yeah, they're gonna be doing loads of these, and it's like, all right, man, yeah, but it took them like,
did they
15 years later to do.
Echo the Dolphin?
No, talk about Shamu.
Shamu's a whale.
Well, I don't.
Dreamcast?
Shamu,
Yeah, no, I was just saying because Sega. I was saying Echo because Echo was the dolphin that Sega made games of. But they made a Shamu game? I didn't know that.
Well, whatever it is, you know that like dude that's in like China and that, because the game you was like a forklift driver. It was a really shit game. Well, for a fighting game, there was a bit of fighting in it, and then you were doing like forklift driving.
You're saying there's a Shamu game that's a fighting game, so like basically two whales fighting each other.
No, it's not Shamu.
So it's like,
Is there going to be a remake with Amy Schumer?
Okay. So it's Primal Rage, but with sea animals.
No, it's where you're like that.
Like
dog. You just a dude, and it took them like 15 years to get the number 2 going.
There was that game where it was like Mortal Kombat, but between two dinosaurs, called Primal Rage.
No, like
I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember it.
what game is it like that? Got released in that like.
I actually want now I want to try. Like, all right, how about this? Yo, how about this? Krish, hey Guns. All right, hit me up in the DMs, and we'll come up with Primal Rage, but in the water with sea creatures, and we'll make a lot of money off this game.
Yeah, I think that. I think that's a good idea. And like, we could, we can get like you have like it's like a like with the games you've got like forward and back with the fighting and stuff. Because they're underwater, they can always have forward and back and up and down. So like when you jump, you just jump and you stay up.
Yep. But you're underneath
and then you
the
jump,
water.
and if you're there in the water and you like you go and like instead of crouching, you literally just go down to like a lower level on the screen. So it's like fighting.
You just gotta come up.
It's like 2D fighting, but you're going. You got up and down as well as forward and back.
Yeah, we just got enough sea monsters.
Okay. We've got. We could get like Amy Schumer or Melissa McCarthy. Leslie Jones.
We can't. They're gonna be copyrighted.
You want to be
we need to do non-copyrighted sea creatures.
Non-copyrighted sea creatures. Is Whoopi Goldberg old enough to be public domain now? She has to be old enough to be public domain by now.
Before we get into more shit talking, I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you guys for coming through. Parrot Head. Thank you. Sentinel, who was here in the chat. Always good to hear your robot voice, Sentinel. Nancy, and I'm so sick of you changing your name, guys. So I'm just gonna keep calling you Mega Man McGee. Games, movies, comics, RS. Nah, you're fucking Mega Man McGee. Sorry, Moira. Thank you. I got Unfamiliars. Philip Blair, John Doe. Thank you. And Ancient One. Thank you, Ancient One.
Hey, Ancient One.
For coming and hanging out. And go ahead, guys. Plug your channels.
You can plug my channel? I can plug my channel. It's a TWTG content. We've got a philosophy show on a Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and Thursday night we have a watch party for Stargate SG-1. 3 episodes a night. That's at 11 p.m. EST.
That's it? Anything else?
Yeah, mate.
No?
You got what's happening, Jens, on your channel? Yeah, I got the YouTube and stuff like that. What's Jens got? Jens, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, not much, because I'm posting one in like a few months, but yeah, I've got like a YouTube channel in there, but I'm going to have to start posting, because I'm going to start like showing some good action movies.
Awesome.
Like, because I watched a good Scott Atkins film, and like I've got another Scott Atkins film to watch. might watch it today, but I've got like a week or two to watch it anyway because it's on like a rental thing.
Jens, during the week, how about this, Jens? During the week, I'll find a good action movie and I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up too, Chris.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, watching movie is going to be like if it's a female action film, like it won't be that good, I don't think. So it better be a male one or a mainly male one. If there's any females in, it better be good.
I'll try to look for a not so crappy action movie.
Oh yeah,
I know sometimes people like Chris don't have the tolerance for
Hey,
crappy movies.
I can enjoy a crappy movie. I enjoy the crappy movies.
Some people just don't like to see the violence on the screen. But as I say, with that New Barbarians, that was pure out like violence and that. So yeah, it's got that.
Thank you, guys.
Barbarians.
Oh, what's up? He comes in as we're closing up shop. Thank you for at least clicking on this. Appreciate it. So, yeah, maybe I'll do a crappy movie in the middle of the week. Not crappy movie, but I'll try to find an action movie in the middle of the week.
Yeah,
I'll see where I go
there's
from there.
Some good ones now. There's some good ones that is on like YouTube and that. Like, I was watching some like 80s and 90s sort of like kung fu and action films and that. Because there was that Dark Angel.
We'll see
What you can find.
Well,
Chris,
yeah.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No worries, dude. It's always fun.
Yeah, cheers. That's it. Cheers, Chris, and cheers, Sentinel. And like talking to us, and like cheers to the chat for like listening to us.
Oh, by the way, Jens.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jens. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. Where we could, did I say where we could find Jens? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Jens Pedder is the name of the YouTube channel, and I've got like Twitter and all, which is like Jens Pedder 27. Yeah. But I don't really post much on Twitter.
Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's well.
All right. Thanks for coming through, folks.
No worries, dude.
Later, everybody. Have